The Digital Economy Software Strategies program is covering the operator's entry into the modern world of e-tailing and the modern world of trying to get involved in the value chain of all the new digital economy services, things that happen over remote communications channels. What do I mean by this? Operators have a fundamental problem right now. Wireline operators are watching their subscriber base decrease by 5 to 15% a year. And they have a strategic problem. They need to get into new businesses to bring in new money. Mobile operators at the same time, well, they're engaged certainly in many exciting things about 4G and new video services and things, but eventually they also believe they have to get into new businesses because their ARPU is in fact tailing off a little bit. So they know they have to get into something. And what can they do? Well, they have some very great strengths. They have wonderful customer contact. People are used to giving them money. They know how to handle a data center. They know how to keep equipment running. They understand software. They understand how to deliver this software to people. And so there's new opportunities for them to enter new digital economy businesses and to really participate in the value chain in new ways. So what do I mean? In general right now, there are many over-the-top providers providing many tremendous services, from voice services to catalog services, ordering new equipment, software as a service, all of these things. And the operators are not entering into, they don't get any money for that other than the use of the communications channels. But what they can do is they can offer these over-the-top providers, they can help over-the-top providers get into the business. Because right now an over-the-top provider has to build their whole software infrastructure. They have to build their billing system, they have to build their CRM system, they have to build their service assurance system, their trouble ticketing system. They have to put all that work, they have to hire people to do all these things. So what if a telephone company, what if the operator could get into that business and offer these services to the over-the-top providers? They become not over-the-top providers, but in fact they're now giving quite a bit of the money to the telcos. So what do I mean here? This is sometimes called the double-sided business model, where the operators are not only getting money from the consumers, but they're getting money from the business side also. And that's really what this is all about. How can they get into that business? How can they use modern e-tailing techniques to sell their stuff? How can they enter new businesses using modern e-tailing techniques and the platforms and core competencies that they already have? There are three major issues that are going on right now in the operators that the Digital Economy Software Strategies program will be looking at. Number one is, how can an operator become a modern e-tailer? How can they do a wonderful job of multi-channel marketing? How can they do a wonderful job of personalization of offers? How can they sell more of their current stuff more effectively? That's number one. Number two is, how can they provide a platform to others to help those others get into new entrepreneurial businesses? So how can they open up, if you will, using application programming interfaces, APIs? How can they open up their communication services? How can they open up their operation support to these people in order so that others can make it a part of their service also? We've seen a lot of experiments going on right now, some successful, some unsuccessful. It feels about at the cusp of success right now. And the third is, how can an operator go in and enter new businesses? How can they enter the security business? How can they enter the VoIP business here for enterprises? How can they do a better job of serving not only the B2C customers, but also the B2B markets? These three areas are tremendous and have tremendous opportunity for the operators if they're willing to open up their systems and if they're willing to think about themselves not as an end-to-end everything soup to nuts provider, but in fact kind of chunk up their businesses and open up points to their systems and their business to others in order to get this. They can then participate in the digital economy value chain much more effectively.